so happy to have you joining us this evening online or wherever you are watching from today. Today is August 19th when I'm recording. I don't know what day you're watching, but we're going to be talking about something I think is so important. It is in my life. I would assume it is in yours as well, so we're going to be talking about it a little bit, and that is on the subject of different. We've talked about this a few times in my course of being here, but I want to take it at a different angle that has influenced me personally and hopefully will you as well. We're going to be reading out of Romans chapter 12, verses 6 through 8 this evening. Romans chapter 12, verse 6 through 8. It says, "Having gifts that differ according to the grace given to us, let us use them. If prophecy, in proportion to our faith. If service, in our serving. The one who teaches, in his teaching. The one who exhorts, in his exhortation. The one who contributes in generosity, and the one who leads with zeal. The one who does acts of mercy with cheerfulness." Specifically, that first verse in verse number 6, it says, "Having gifts that differ according to the grace given to you, let us use them." I am in love with art. I always have been my whole life. Painting is really probably I would consider my weakness, but drawing, charcoal, graphite, all sorts of different things that I enjoy to do. I enjoy creating something that's unique and personal, and there's something specific that I've learned about it in my own life. If I look back over the years in all of my art classes or in things that I've competed in when I've submitted my artwork and looked at the various other artwork in there, is that I used to be very bad at comparing what I worked on, my work, to what somebody else did, to their ability to do art that they created. And something I learned about that I didn't really understand then, but I understand more now, is that it's all different. You can't have I can't compare my project to your project. Even if we're drawing the exact same picture, even if we are both creating the same picture, we're both going to have two perspectives of the same object. We're both going to have two different points of focus on the same object. So no matter what we're creating, no matter what artwork I'm creating or you're creating or whoever else Picasso is creating, we can be both working on a pig, but my pig could be a circle with two pointy ears on it, and his could be, or yours could be a group of pigs on a farm with a barn and 100 acres of land with a sunset. But that doesn't necessarily mean that mine is worse than yours or that mine is worse than theirs, because we're coming at it from two different perspectives of the same picture. If you just told me to draw a pig and I draw a pig, what I create from that is always going to be different than what you create from that. Art isn't about trying to accomplish or trying to create something that's the same as somebody else. It's not about trying to recreate the same picture. It's not about trying to be as good as somebody else. It's about your unique perspective on whatever you're trying to capture trying to create in that picture. And that's what I love about art, is that it's all about our differences. It's all about how do you perceive, how do you see a specific thing right there in front of you? How do you create something that's in your mind that nobody else sees? How do you recreate an object that somebody has just verbally described to you? And that's what I love about art, is that it will never, it's impossible for two pieces of art to be the exact same. Never can happen. And I think if you apply that to our lives spiritually, God gave each of us gifts. God engulfed each and every one of us so unique, so different from one another, that none of us can be the same. Even though we can both be gifted at playing the piano, even though we can both be gifted at singing or at drawing or at whatever it may be, our gifts still won't be the same. they're still going to be so uniquely different. And that's because the exact same thing I just said about the art is that we're going to be coming at it from two different perspectives, two different visions of the same goal. I'm going to give you an example. Maybe you're not an artist. Maybe you don't understand what I'm trying to explain as far as the art portion goes. So I'm going to give you one that's more cultural to today about business, okay? Say you are a business owner of a real estate company, and you're looking at applicants to hire new agents. Two people apply. They have two different qualifications, or they each have their own qualifications that they think are applicable to this job. So let's say the first one has 10 years of successful sales in the housing department. You could say that they're the perfect candidate. You could say you want more experience, but that's what they have. The second candidate has 15 years of, they don't have any real estate experience, no house selling experience or car selling experience or sales experience in general, really. But what they do have is 15 years of customer care experience. Is one better than the other? You could decide that. I'm not going to tell you that one is better than the other, and it's just hypothetical, so it doesn't really matter. But they both are good candidates, and we can both agree that they both bring something to the table. Even though they're both trying to get the same job, they're both bringing two different things to the table that are both applicable to this same position. Does that make sense? They're both good candidates. They both bring something different to the table, and they both have something that they can offer that's unique to their specific situation. Maybe they don't have house selling experience. Maybe they've never been a real estate. Maybe they don't even know if they want to be a real estate agent for sure. But what they do know is that they care about a customer. They care about making sure that that person ends up with every single thing that they want in a house. And maybe the other person, even though they've been successful at it for 10 years, they're more worried about the money. Or maybe that person's, whatever the case may be, they both bring two different things to the table that are both beneficial because they're unique in the gifts that have been given to them. Life it sucks, but it's so much become about comparison today. Social media, the news, movies, it's all pitting people against each other, trying to compare one to the other, saying this person's better than this person, or trying to achieve what that person has, or so many different things that are about comparing or trying to reach what that person has or that person's status. And I think that's so messed up today because life isn't about being as good or being better than somebody else. It's about being confident and being proud of the person that you are, who God created you to be. Like that, the verse we just read says that we have different gifts according to the grace given to us, and it's our responsibility to use them. If you're starting a business, you could be the least experienced person to start that business. You may have no business experience. You may be a mom who stayed at home forever and never worked a job in her life. She moved right out of her parents' house, got married, and they had kids, so she stayed home. And now she wants to start a business. But what she knows is that her kid doesn't like any of the rest of the binkies. Her kid doesn't like to wear the diapers that other kids wear. She can bring something, not because of her experience, but because of her unique perspective that nobody else can bring. She has a niche that nobody else has because of the position that she's in. So even though there's a million binky companies out there, even though there's a million people that may have this idea to create a binky that may be better than what they've seen, she has one that's so specific because of what she's been through. She now has a niche that nobody else has in the market. You have to bring what nobody else does. You have to create your niche, your uniqueness that nobody else can bring. Even if you look the same on the outside, even if the exterior all looks the same, what's different about you that separates you from everybody else that does what you do or can do the same things you can? There's something that God placed inside of you, something so unique, so different from everybody else that only you have. And you got to find it. Because once you find that, once you figure out what that is, there is nothing stopping you from being successful and blessed and incredible at everything you do and having all the blessings and promises that God has. There's nothing standing in the way of that anymore, because you know what makes you you and nobody else. You don't have to compare yourself. You don't have to look to your right or to your left or see what's different, or you don't have to say that I want to reach that pinnacle status, because you are confident in who you are, what you can do, and what makes you different. Serving, giving, prophecy, teaching, caring, leading, kindness, cooking, taking care of kids, playing with kids, whatever is different about you, whatever God has gifted you with, find what separates you that nobody else has, that makes you you, and use that. Use that. Yeah, there's 1 million preachers in the world. There's 1 million in my family. There's 1 million in Tulsa. There's 1 million preachers in the world, but there's something that God made different about me that nobody else can do. There's something that makes you different in your area, your career, or your lifestyle. There's something so unique about you that only you have, that you need to appreciate about yourself. Maybe you're not happy about the way you look. Maybe you're not happy about the way you sound or the things that you do. But find out what's specific to you. Find out what God gave you that He didn't give anybody else. And use that. Use that. Don't waste it. To go back to my first comparison on me with art and comparing it in my earlier years to other people, I think a lot of that in my own life, it even caused me to stop doing artwork for so many years, because I thought, it's going to take me 50 years to get what they have, so I'm just going to stop now. I'm not going to waste my time working on something that I know I'm never going to be as good as them. I missed out on what I could have become. I missed out on so much that I could have been doing during that period of time, because I was too busy looking to my right or to my left, or looking how good they are, looking at the success that they've had. We've got to stop comparing and appreciate what makes us different. Appreciate who God made you to be. You're not just a father. You're not just a mom. You're not just a manufacturer. You're not just a cook. You're not just those things. You are something unique that only makes sense to you. But it's your job to find out what that is. I can't tell you what that is in your life. You can't tell me what that is in my life. My wife can't even tell me what that is in my life. I have to find that out for myself. Someone is waiting on you to do what that is. Somebody cares that you discover what that is in your life. Something needs you. There's something in your future that's waiting on you to figure that out so that you can pursue whatever that is, but it can't happen until you figure that out for you. You're not just different. Maybe I feel like somebody is listening today and they feel like people have called them different or special or weird their whole life. You're not just different. You're not just even 1 in 7 billion that are on the earth today. They estimate that there's 107 billion people that have walked this planet in its entirety of life. You're 1 in 701 billion. No two can be the same. Just like no two pieces of artwork can be the same. I can't make the same table 2 times in a row. Not even the same artist can make 2 pieces of artwork the exact same. You are 1 in 107 billion. You're something special. Did you hear that? Are you listening to not even to what I'm saying? Are you listening to what God is saying about you right now in this moment? We could be painting the same picture. We could be chasing the same dream of retiring at the age of 35. But there's so many ways to do it. There's so many different ways to do the same thing. And it's unique to who you are, who God created you to be, and the gifts that He's placed inside of you. You have to appreciate those, though. You can't look past those or take them for granted. You can't undervalue the things that God has placed inside of you. You matter. You accomplishing, you serving the purpose that God has placed inside of you. You doing the things that God has called you to do, that matters. Somebody is waiting on you to do that. Somebody is waiting on you to step up and say, God, I know what you've called me to do. I know what you've placed inside of me. And yes, I've been scared. Yes, I've been worried. Or yes, I didn't think I was enough. Yes, I've went through all of this stuff in the past. And yes, I don't know if I'm worthy anymore. But I know somebody's waiting on me because I'm different. I bring something to the table that they need that nobody else can bring. And I am different. I love art because no two pieces can ever be the same. Never. I can't make the same two pieces of artwork. Me and you can't make the same. You can't make the same too. So whatever your friend has been telling you, whatever your parents have been telling you, whatever your significant other has said to you, that woman or that man has been saying and speaking over your life, whatever that is, stop listening to it. If they're telling you you're not worth it, if they're telling you that the purpose that is inside of you isn't enough, that you aren't capable of incredible things, then stop listening to that voice. God knit you together. Every single thread of your body, every single piece of hair, He hand-selected for you. Every gift that's inside of you, the hand you write with, the toes on your feet, every piece, every freckle, God handcrafted for you. Nobody else can do what you can. Nobody else looks the way you do. Nobody else can accomplish and succeed in the way that you can. You aren't worthless. You don't just have value. Yes, there may be plenty of fish in the sea, but there's not any fish like you. There ain't any fish like you. Yes, I said ain't, because it gets my point across. There are no fish that are the same as you. No two art pieces are the same. No two people are the same. You are different. Lord, I thank you for whoever's watching this today. I know you laid this word on my heart. I know that it's going to go and it's going to do its work today. I thank you for each and every person that's watching, that you would bless their week. Help them discover what's unique about them, what's special about them, and who you've created them to be. They're different, Father. I pray that they would find that they wouldn't look at it as a fault, as something that's missing in them or something that makes them less than somebody else, but it's a strength, Father, that you've created in just them, that nobody else has. 107 billion, and you gave it to me. You gave it to them. Father, I pray that you help us not take that for granted, that you help us see the value in that and in who we are, who you created us to be. We stand in who you are, and in that confidence of who we are and who you created us to be, and we stand in it. We're thankful for it, and we praise you and bless you in Jesus' name. Amen. Thank you so much for watching. I look forward to the days we can be together. Today, on Wednesdays, we're pushing it back just a little bit until we can all come, and the kids can go play down there, and the youth can go have service. We're going to wait till we can all come back as a family and do what God has called us to do together and learn and grow together. Until then, we're going to keep bringing it to you online so that we can grow together in this fashion, and you can hear and receive from your couch in the comfort of your home, eating your pizza or your ice cream or whatever you're eating at home. I look forward to being together as a family again in Jesus' name. I'll see you again soon.